Advisor from the government branch will present their case. They're here. They're here.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the US right now, they use death penalty for homicide criminals. And we can see from this data, in the 20th centuries, 23 innocent cases has been created, that 23 innocent lives have been taken away by death penalty. And we see that it's not justice, and we say there's a problem today. So first one, there's a dignity that innocent life got taken away because death penalty. If first the court will say yes, you're guilty and you get death penalty and then you get killed. But then after that, if they come to analyze the case again, you found out that that person is not guilty. So how, ladies and gentlemen, how are you going to bring that life back? Because he's already been killed. So now it's not going to be justice, and the government is not fulfilling their role of being a government. And secondly, the second problem is death penalty right now. It's not sending any message to those criminals. Why is that so, ladies and gentlemen? Because those criminals, they would just think, okay, I hate this person so much, I go and kill this person. I go and kill this person and then I get killed. So what? I do not have to suffer anything. They just inject some medicine in me and then I die. So that's all, and it's the end. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we say that's not sending any message to those people. And because we say most crime, most homicides, it's done by relatives, it's done by the hatreds in family, it's done by hatreds in friendships. So secondly, ladies and gentlemen, my yardsticks today, I'm going to talk about one, homicides. They are killers. But no, ladies and gentlemen, we don't want any more death penalty. But what we're going to do, we're going to impose life in prison instead of death penalty. Why is that so, ladies and gentlemen? Because first of all, death penalty is not working, and death penalty sometimes kill innocent life. And we say that, you see now, even one case, even one life, innocent life got taken away. We say that is not just. Ladies and gentlemen, with life in prison, first of all, the prisoner, those criminals will stay in the prison, be in that square room, stuck there, suffer there, and finally they will realize and be haunted by the crime that they made. So now, because in the prison they're going to suffer and not paradise, so that is actually better from death penalty. So they will realize that what's wrong that they've done. And secondly, we're talking about that we say that one innocent life does matter. If you kill one innocent life with death penalty, you are not legitimate to be the government anymore, and that will be elaborated more in my speech. So now, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to my split, I'm going to talk about why life in prison is better. And secondly, my partner is going to come up here and talk about should we take a moral high ground by abolishing death penalty. Before I move on, yes, POI.
How do you think that your if you said that 20 lives can be saved, but why don't you think about lives that have been saved because of the death penalty?
So now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're talking about that case, it's going to be the same, because those criminals, they will be putting in jail, they'll be imprisoned in jail. So at the end of the day, they're not going to go back to the country, they're not going to go back to the society and kill more people, ladies and gentlemen. But with our proposal, I have two actors to talk about today. So first, let's talk about the government. The government is the one who stands and states firmly that killing is wrong. The government is the one who states firmly that it is not right to go and kill people. So first of all, they do not want to look hypocritical. If they're saying killing is wrong, so how come they are legitimate enough to go and kill people? So they need to stand up with a moral high ground and to say that no, you cannot kill people. What are we going to give them? We're going to give them a life imprisonment instead. So secondly, they do not want to take any more innocent life get killed. Because, ladies and gentlemen, innocent life get killed is important. Because when you kill innocent lives, the people, even one case, it can bring the crack into the government. Because people will say one case is enough. We can see that you are not working effectively. We can see that you are not being a legitimate government because you're killing people. You're killing innocent people, ladies and gentlemen. So we say that is wrong. And so now everyone will say that the government is not keeping the state or not keeping the social contract by saving every life and by keeping the rights of the people. Instead of that, the government is killing people, so that is not justice, that people will go against the government. They can even come out and protest and can even destroy the government. Ladies and gentlemen, so then even if they say it's wrong, the people can be there and realize And with death penalty, those people will be gone forever. And if that person is found innocent, you cannot bring that life back. You can never bring that life back, ladies and gentlemen. So now, with death penalty, we can see that, and death penalty is not working because if you're talking about California in the 1960 to 1991, we can see that the rate of the murder rate has increased because of they have execution policy. So that is not what we suppose. Comparing to other years, periods of time with non-execution periods. So we can see that death penalty doesn't solve anything, thus it increased twice of the murder rate. So please sit down. And secondly, let's talk about the second act to the citizens. The citizens is the one who pays the tax for those people to stay in prison. The opposition will come up here talking, those people do not want that. So first of all, ladies and gentlemen, they see that these people are criminal and they do not want those people to walk in the streets and kill more people. So then, and they can see that with death penalty is nothing because those people, they're not going to realize they're bad, they're not going to realize there's mistake, will never realize that they have done one thing. And if you are the criminals, and if you are those people related, and if you are those victims' relatives, you're going to. So now you lost one life already. You lost your daughter already. You do not want to lose your friends who killed your daughters anymore because you don't want to lose anymore. But with allowing them to be in the prison, you can feel secure that the government is doing their job, and secondly, you can feel secure that that girl will not go and kill other person's daughter. So now you're getting everything. You do not have to kill any more lives. So that is justified. So first of all, and they can see that with prison, the person is already paying for their bad, and with prison, those people will start their real life and suffer because in prison, I already stated it before, it is not a paradise, ladies and gentlemen. And we can see that revenge never solves any problem. If you kill more life, it doesn't mean anything, ladies and gentlemen. You just got more populations to decrease, and we say that is not what we want to happen. And how are we going to solve the problem? Because with our proposal, life in prison, we're not going to kill more innocent life. We're not going to kill those. But without our proposal, what will happen? So first of all, you're going to kill innocent life, and the government will not be legitimate, as I elaborated to you earlier. And secondly, it's going to be a slippery slope because if the government can kill, so the government can torture as well. So now the government policy, Obama policy by 2010, that they're going to close the Guantanamo Bay doesn't mean anything because the government can even continue torturing people. So with all those reasons, I'm so proud to propose. Thank you.